Hey everybody. 6:41 a.m. Central Time on Friday, May 5th, 2023. And I've got to show you something. I was just watching my local news and our local meteorologist on NBC talking about the radar signature and that it's not a computer glitch that we're seeing here. So let me just take you through and show you what's going on here. Do you see all this wobbling going on throughout the storms? See this? This is not a radar glitch. Again, according to our NBC meteorologist, this wobbling here, I'm going to hit refresh fully on this, and we're just going to load all the images again. This is not a radar artifact from my local weather, again, or my local weather station. I'm just showing it to you on here because they're filtering it out on the National Weather Service site to prevent people from seeing it. And the meteorologist explanation is that the undulation that we're seeing here is caused by layering of the atmosphere moving around a little bit today. Now, guys, look, I don't know what to make of the explanation that's given on television by the TV meteorologist, but I've watched weather my whole life, and I'm here to tell you right now, never seen anything like this before. I'm going to take you through real fast. Now watch. See how it's wobbling? The whole country now. Every storm system. So it's not a radar glitch. Again, according to the local meteorologist, this is due to some kind of atmospheric layering that's going on, causing a wobble in all the storms across North America. Now it's centered around here. I'm going to move my mouse around. Centered around here in the middle where there's nothing. That's where we're getting this undulation coming out from, or could be coming from up in Canada. But to move all these storm systems like this, and then right about there it stops. So about 5:30, right around sunrise or so, it stops. Now that is insane. That's insane. I'm going to take us over now to I'm going to leave that open. We're going to go over to College of DuPage. We're going to look at what the National Weather Service is showing us. We're going to look at what the storm systems are showing us. We're going to look at a greater view of the global sector. I guess we'll just look at North America first. And we'll turn on long wave infrared just to get a good view of the storms. See what's happening here. So let's get 200 images open too so we can see what happened since last night. This is just a view of North America and what's going on. Okay, so let's just see. Last night is right about, so here's last night's sunset. And here's throughout, whoa, up, look at this. So halfway through the night, this, you gotta be. So something happens with the weather satellite that's way, this is satellite now, this is not radar. So boop, boop, right there. Look at that, here's the coast of North America out here. Here's the line where it's supposed to be. The satellite's moving for some reason. Or the camera's focusing or moving for some reason. That would be odd because it's supposed to be geostationary. Right there. Wow. Okay, so something happens at 6:20 UTC. At 6:20 and 20 seconds UTC. Okay, wow. Yeah, okay, so something's going on. Let's go look at the Mosaic radar now and see what it shows. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to go back to continental sectors. We're going to go look at North America. This is now, again, this College of DuPage. So, it's not like I'm just using NBC News radar or something. We'll see what the National Weather Service shows throughout the night. There's our weird storm formation last night that I talked about. Hold on. Wow, hold on. Look in the middle right here where we're getting all that undulation that's being edited out on this quality control feed. And the storms are colliding right in the middle and annihilating each other. Look at that. Hold on. That's over Nebraska. Collide. All comes together right at boom. And then what else is going on here? Look up over the Great Lakes. Up here. Watch this. Wow, look at this. Do you see that? It's going to the north by northwest. Do you see this? Hold on. I'm going to zoom in on that in a second. Plus all the radar, of course, in the Midwest. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. I mean, the fact that they addressed it on TV is mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing. Okay, so here we are. Look at that. Like wobble, 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 wobble throughout the night. And it looks like it's going on up in Canada too. And now I'm going to back this out. And to prove it's not a translation error on this system or something, we'll play it through for like Europe too. We could see Europe. We can see Australia. It's only happening for the area in the southwest United States going to cross over into the Midwest. So I'm just going to, we'll hit play on this, and it should load all the images. We'll just let them load. It'll be flickering in Europe as it's loading images. We've already loaded the United States. Once it's done loading, the flickering will stop, and we'll get a good steady view of Europe, of all the radar feeds from Europe. Okay. Just let it play through from the beginning. Again, it's loading all the images. There we go. Now, I'm going to move my mouse back and forth, and you'll be able to see the undulation, I think, in North America versus Europe. See, it's not doing it in Europe, but it is doing it in the United States. So you can't tell me it's like some kind of algorithm translation error with the radar system or something. So whatever's going on there, it's caught. You got to understand, to move even one cloud like that, a few miles even, and back, would take such an insane amount of energy. We're talking more than nukes worth, more than hundreds of nukes worth, to move and create some kind of ripple or wave. Okay, so the center of it in the United States, where this undulation looks like it's coming from, it's either coming from up here or it's coming from down here in one of these two open areas. And you can just, again, I'll move my, look at that, it's like ripples, and it's like a wavy, I can't believe they're editing that out on the National Weather Service feed, but our NBC News meteorologist addressed it. He's like, looks like an error, looks like a computer error, but it's not. I'm like, wow, I gotta get on here and immediately talk about it. So it looks like something's going on down with the storms down in the south as well. Some kind of weird glitch out right there. Looks like we got a pulse of some kind down here, down in Texas, because next few frames it goes away. See how it lights up like that? So I want to go down and just take a look at the NexRad in Texas, see what that shows, see what's going on here. I'm recording everything here because this is a big deal to me. So let's just compare. Down in Texas, looks like east of Dallas, somewhere over here. So let's go see. East of Dallas. So would that be the Shreveport? This would be the Shreveport, Louisiana. Oh, wait. Yeah, Shreveport, Louisiana NexRad radar is what we're going to go look at. See if it does anything weird. Wait. Right at the 100 nautical mile range, right here, a storm immediately pops up right there and mixes with the other one and annihilates it. Wow, hold on. Look at that. Symmetrically on either side of the radar. Look at that. It looks like butterfly wings going out in each direction from the radar station. My God, look at that. Oh, wow, hold on. And then as it passes across, it turns into double ripples. And then it turns into the vortex of the radar station itself. I bet we'll be able to see this on correlation coefficient and see the rotation of the radar itself, the beams themselves that are shaping that. So right in... Let's just wait for it. There we go. Wow. So it does... That's wild. Okay, so there's something going on. There's no doubt about it. There's something weird going on. I don't know what. I don't know what could move all the storms, like some kind of ripple or wave effect going across the North American plate, coming from down here. And, I mean, the only thing... You know what else is down here? Right here? Let me zoom in. See where it says Albuquerque, Los Lunas? Just to the west, somewhere right out in here, is the Very Large Array, where we had our earthquakes next to. I don't know exactly where it is, but it certainly is somewhere right out here, west of Socorro. So, down here. It's right down here, somewhere out here. Maybe I'll be able to find it. I mean, it's big. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so the Very Large Array is right here. And I'm going to just park my mouse over the center of it. We'll back it out and just... So that is, I mean, if this is a giant circle around it, I mean, I'm not saying it's coming from the Very Large Array. The Very Large Array is for listening for things. Anyway, to get this undulation of the storms across the whole North American plate like a giant wave tank. Here, I'm going to do it. Look at that. Come on, man. What is going on? It's like every radar station in the entire country wobbled on the same basis at once. Because you would get this from maybe, like you would think maybe, okay, one radar station's wobbling, right? Like you got a radar station in St. Louis or something, and, you know, the dish is wobbling, it might give you this effect or something. But to get all the storms doing it, mean all the stations are wobbling. And if all the stations are wobbling, that's microwave wobble. So we're wobbling on a microwave level. And that's invisible to the human eye. This is all electronic. You can't see this. If you went outside and went out and looked with your eyes, you wouldn't see it moving by miles. This is some kind of microwave undulation that's going on there. That, of course, radar is working on 2.7 gigahertz, so it would be a 2.7 gigahertz wobble of some kind going on, coming out and undulating out in all directions. It's the only thing I could think that could cause it. It's not a glitch. You know how I know it's not a glitch? They talked about it on the morning news here and said it's not a glitch. And then we go check the National Weather Service thing, and they're doing the quality control thing. So, of course, they're not going to show it. They'll keep it all right where it is. They won't show any kind of undulation or anything. They'll even go so far as to maybe even edit, keep it normal. I don't know, quality control feed. Meanwhile, overseas, everything's remaining normal. So that's whatever's going on here is rippling out across the United States. And by the time it's getting to the East Coast, it seems to be dying out. And then over on the West Coast. Oh, something else I want to show you, and we're going to go back over to College of DuPage now. This is significant as well, and I showed my wife because it's just, I don't recall a time where this happened previously. So, I mean, you know, I'm not going to say this has never happened, what I'm about to show you, but storm going up the West Coast. Here, I'm just going to take you back and show you 200 images from yesterday into today. Now watch on the West Coast. The counterclockwise rotation, of course, of the low pressure system, but watch which way this thing's going. Okay, so it's going to the west-northwest. I'm going to do it really fast here. Or I'll hit play and we'll play it through real fast. See, it's going to the west-northwest right now, and it's drawing it up to the west-northwest. Now, we just had our weird thing happen here. The storms collided in the middle, annihilated themselves. We got the weird spread of 4 storms down here, 4 in the middle, 4 up to the northwest. I talked about that in my update yesterday. Made screenshots and post on it. And then we have something greater going on. Let's go look at the full disk. Because this is actually only going to show us half the Earth, but I'll bring it through and we'll play it through. Okay, we're looking at 200 images on the full disk image. And what I want to draw your attention to is the high pressure that's up here. Just watch it several times as it goes through. You'll see it rotating to clockwise or to the right. Meanwhile, our low pressure systems are rotating to the left. Now, this one came in from California. It already went down the coast, down to the south. Now it's going back up to the west-northwest. So it came down. It's going back up this way, which is abnormal. Meanwhile, this thing, I would call it a polar vortex. And if this happened in the winter, or even in the summer, I guess, you would call it a polar vortex. Again, you remember when this thing parked out over the northeast a couple of years back, and it pulled in all that cold weather and caused all kinds of snow on the East Coast. Well, in this case, this giant high-pressure system here, it's just massive, right? And these other low-pressure systems are coming in, going over to the global sector on the goes west view. And again, this is showing us half the planet here, but kind of we don't really need to look down south yet. But we're going back up the west coast this way. It's just getting a little odd. With the undulation of the storms across North America, the way that just happened on radar, but you go look on visible satellite and it does some weird glitch thing. I don't know. You guys, I mean, there's another way for us to check this, which is us to go over to the goes west and goes east directly and go check it this way. This will show us the whole planet. and just see what happens around that time that we're getting that weird disturbance on radar. And now I have to let 240 images load, but I think it's going to be in our best interest to see. So let's speed this up a little bit just so we don't have to wait so long. We'll be able to see everything here rotating along pretty fast. So this storm here is going up the west coast. There's our outbreak last night. Oh, wait. Wow, we got some black beam activity here on the long wave infrared. Uh-oh. Black beam activity. If you see it, I'll see it shoot off here into the storms every once in a while. Right there at the center of the screen. Oh, no. Don't even get me going on what that is. I could just tell you directed energy weapon, infrared. Or maybe not weapon. Could be for communication. Let's go look at long wave. And we're going to go look at goes east. Here's 12 images. Let's load 240. We're going to do the same thing. Just going to look and see if there's any kind of undulation of the storms here in North America visibly on the satellite as opposed to just on the radar. Undulation on the radar, different than undulation visibly on satellite. Now, if we get some kind of weird disturbance, some kind of blackout or anything, I haven't looked at this, but if we get anything weird going across here at that time, I'll think something physically did happen, okay? So let's just see. Here we go. We're going through the day. Speed it up a little bit there. There we are throughout the night. Oh, geez, you got to be kidding me, man. Okay, yeah, we got something. We did. We have a weird blackout along the equator. Look at that. Okay, here, let's take it back. Just going to take it back till we get the blackout. You got to be kidding me, man. All right, 2 of them. 1, 2. So first this one. There. That's actually south of the equator. The equator is right here along Ecuador. And the second one is right along the equator, directly along the equator. Okay, I mean, look, you'd have to tell me this is all chance. That the one satellite has the weird glitch out and then the other satellite, this one, has the bars appear across the equator, and then the radar is undulating across North America at the same time. To have all 3 systems, they're not related. You know how many different radar stations there are? Well, over 2 per state. That's 100 different stations. Here, I'll show you. We've got a map, I think, of the radar itself. Here, let's open that up. Yeah, here's all our radar stations across the United States, NEXRAD radar. So to get all of them undulating across all of North America, going up into Canada too, Canada stations are separate. They're different. They're not even on our system, and they're probably not even working on the same exact frequency. They're working in microwave, but God only knows what. And so to go back to the system here and to have our local meteorologist acknowledge it, and for it to show up on this system being privately owned, as opposed to the publicly owned system that goes to what we call quality control feed. Quality control is another term for censorship, guys. They take out any anomalies, any blinks, any pulses of the radar, any beams that come and show up in cross beam, scalar. Take all that stuff out, and they'll take this kind of stuff out. Look at that. It's literally like sloshing waves in a tank. I am not kidding you. Look at this. Oh, and by the way, my wife is in here with me, so you can say, hey, babe.
Hello.
Okay, they might not be able to hear you, but she was in here with me when the meteorologist addressed it on the live news, right? I mean,
yeah.
So, and I don't have a voice queued up behind me to press a button, guys. I'm not Ferris Bueller. I'm not faking my coughs in the background with the keyboard, okay? So anyway, seeing this is insane. I've got to document it in case anything happens. I don't know what to expect. What would you expect off this? You see all the storms in the North America wobble back and forth like they're on some kind of, it's almost like they're on some kind of rotation of their own. Like a out of wobble, out of sync, something's out of sync right there. But it's causing all the storms. Again, the amount of energy that it would take to do this would be CERN level. I wonder what the antipode of this is on the opposite side of the planet. I have no idea. We'll have to go to the antipodes map and just search one of these towns here in Utah. Durango, Colorado. Okay, let's just go to antipodes map. And we're going to search Durango, Colorado. And then it'll give us the opposite side of the planet from Durango, Colorado. And it's just a rough, just trying to get the relative area. In one side of the earth, out the other. Where are we? Off the east coast of Madagascar, in the middle of the Indian Ocean on the plate boundary. No kidding. Let's go over and take a look and see what's there. Nothing there right now. Let me show you what's really there. This. You know what this is? Let me back it out and show you. This is the pinnacle tip of the star fort-shaped plate boundary around the outside edge of Antarctica, with the spade symbol shape in the middle, part of which is broken apart in the middle going north up to the pinnacle tip. But you should be able to see the five-sided nature of this, the pentagonal nature. Now, this whole plate is 6,600 something miles long, ironically or not, and the pinnacle tip of it goes to here. Again, you should be able to trace out the pentagonal shape of the plate around Antarctica. We get up here, and that's this. Now, we go through the planet, from there, back through to where we're radiating out some kind of vibratory pattern that's coming out and showing on the microwave radar, causing a disturbance across the storms, across all of North America. I don't know. Is it related? I have no examples previous to go on this. Let me put it this way. I've looked at the radar since I was 5. My dad worked at Boeing, or McDonnell Douglas back in the day. It became Boeing. But it brought me home all kinds of weather-related items that they use for weather observation at McDonnell Douglas, including McDonnell Douglas weather radio, that they had their own radio station at McDonnell Douglas that broadcast the own weather for the airport and fighter jets and all kinds of stuff that were around the area. And they used the McDonnell Douglas weather transmitter to do that from the headquarters. Anyway, so I've been looking at the radar for a long time. I'm 47 now. I'm the guy who discovered HAARP rings, if you know about the controversy with HAARP rings and radar pulses. So I have a little bit of experience of looking at the radar. People don't agree with me a lot of times on what I'm showing and what I'm not. And if I was just showing this on my own, with me just saying, oh, look what's going on, people could call it an error. But now that we have confirmation from local meteorologist here in St. Louis, that was local meteorologist Anthony Slaughter, give out his name. I'm not trying to put him under the thumb or under the gun or anything, but he was on TV and said it. And he said it was not an error. And that's what then prompted me to say, I already seen it, and I was wondering what's going on. And here we are. So something is going on. But what? Something strange. A storm is going up the west coast. It already came down the west coast. And now it's going back up the west coast to the west-northwest. We've got the weird spacing on the storms from earlier. We've got the annihilation of the storm in the middle of the country. We've got the undulation going across North America. We got the blackouts or the glitch outs on the actual satellite, which I just want to just drive home the point that is so bizarre to get it across multiple systems like this. We'll go back to College of DuPage and just show you we're looking at the GOES satellite and the new GOES. So, I mean, come on, we're looking at the new GOES satellite, and we get the glitch out, and that's extremely odd. I'm going to go look at the long wave infrared, and we're going to look at the short wave too. And look throughout the night again and just see what happens. So at the same time that the GOES blacks out down at the equator, somewhere in here we jump out of sync. Well, now hold on. You guys saw it jump with me. Let's go back and look at a greater view on the global sector. The jump glitch has now been removed. Where the East Coast and it all jumped out of frame. Let's go to look at shortwave infrared. See what's showing on there. Wow. It's good to know that they're on top of this. You know? Hey, it's good to know they're on top of it. Aren't you guys happy? Oh, wait, look at that. Right there. 6:40:20 UTC. 20 minutes. So, here we go. Maybe they didn't get to clean up the whole feed yet. Anyway, maybe they'll remove this one next for our benefit. Hey, look. We're on frame 167. Okay. So, frame 167, you can see it blanks out there. They go for 20 minutes. We got some issues. 20 minutes at that time. Well, that matters because we get back here. We got the weird undulating radar going on during that time. By the way, 6:20:20 UTC is about 1:15 to 1:20 in the morning when the undulation is going on the most here across. Look at that. So 3 puts us to 9 UTC, where this is Central Daylight Time here on the clock. So it's going throughout the night, starting right there, big time. That's where it's really going, like sloshing in a tank. By the way, it's a time delay on the slosh going across the country, letting you know it's an actual physical undulation of some kind going on there. See it? It's taking time for it to go from Nebraska to Michigan. Not long. It's like a waterbed. So anyway, never seen it before. This is odd. And then it stops. So right here around sunrise, boom, it's sunrise. We're going at 5:30, and we'll go back and compare to sunrise. We're going to go to True Color View, and we'll watch throughout the night. Here's throughout the night, and there's sunrise at, let's get it, right there. Sunrise at 12 UTC, going over the Midwest here. 12 UTC. Okay, so going forward, 5 a.m. Central Daylight Time is 11:15 UTC. So it stops right at the time that sun rises. Goes all night. Undulates all night. And then when the sun comes around, we get the stopping of that, whatever that means. I've never seen anything like this before. Getting confirmation on this from a local meteorologist is huge, and I don't know what to make of it. It could mean nothing. Could mean everything. We would need to watch and see over the next several days into next week. I would think that we wouldn't have to wait long if we've got some kind of weird undulation that's capable of moving all the radar station's signals, some kind of microwave interference going out across a vast area. I don't know. There's only a few possible explanations for what can move microwave signals, but not physically move the storms. And then you got to ask yourself, when this is going on across the Midwest, I mean, look in Nebraska. In case you don't know where Nebraska is, it's right here. And I will bring the storms together for you on screen. Look at that. By the way, look at the radar right in there. Going through the storm. It's rotating, by the way. So let's take it back to the start and watch them come together. Boom. And it goes right in and annihilates itself and goes into rotation too. You see, it wasn't rotating before. And then they collide and poof. All right. Now that's being done. That's being manipulated to do that, in case you don't know. It's happening right here in between both radar stations. One on the north side, one on the south side. And the vortex-like nature that goes back into the radar station. So in case you don't know about that, now you do. All right, one more time, guys. Documenting it. I'm going to go move it forward one more time through the whole progression, going across the United States. And we'll just watch this weird anomaly, if you will. And I'm going to save this, document it. If anything else goes down, course, I'll upload the video if anything happens. I'm not going to upload it now, but I wanted to show you guys real time that something's happening. And is it just chance that it's on the other side of this? The tip of the pentagonal star fort-shaped whole continent of Antarctica? That it's the antipode of that? Where it's coming from? Emanating out from? And what are the chances that the Four Corners area of Colorado at Durango would be the antipode of that down here? That might explain a lot on the weird stuff that goes on at Four Corners, right? Weird. All right. You guys be safe.